Hello traders, in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to use market structure, understanding what market structure is, and also in collaboration to what price action is all about. So at the end of this video you will be able to take trade like what is currently going on here. If you look at on my chart, we have a live trade which is ongoing now on gold, and also have a live trade which is ongoing on GBPUSD 50-minute time frame on both positions. So in today's video I want to be showing you how you can simply have an understanding of market structure and also understanding price action to be able to take trades like this. Okay, so without wasting most of the time, let's go right in. Okay, now we are on our trading view platform, right? We're on a trading view platform where we literally to make analysis. Most of the time I do my practical analysis on my MetaTrader platform unless I'm doing this for educational purposes only. Well, that is why I can come about and I use my trading view. In today's video, like I said, I want us to talk about market structure, guys. If you are watching this video for your first time, probably you might be having difficulty in understanding what market structure is all about, or understanding what price action too is all about. In today's video I'm going to be taking it in a simplest form as much as possible so that you will be able to pick it up. Okay, so at the end of this video you should be able to trade price action, you should be able to understand price action, then you should be able to understand entirely what market structure is all about. So what is market structure to you? When we're talking about market structure, right, what we are looking is that we simply just want to understand, right? We want to understand the broader framework, okay, of the market. We want to understand the broader framework of the market. Talking about the broader framework, okay, now let's look at this a typical example. We're talking about the GBPUSD, which is the Great British Pound against United States dollar. If I'm looking at this market currently right now and I say I want to understand what market structure is all about, or the reaction of market structure in this market, guys, we are talking, this is actually a real life experience of what we can do. If I want to understand what market structure is all about in this market, right, when you hear about market structure, one thing should come to your mind. We are talking about major key levels in the market. Okay, we are talking about the major key levels in the market. Within those key levels, you will be able to draw your trends. You can be able to identify trend. You can be able to identify chart patterns. Okay, so yeah, that is a fundamental function of market structure. So if I am to look at this market currently right now, from where we have our current price, what I can simply do here is that I can just simply come around. What I want to do is to map out my major key levels. Okay, my major key levels will help me to understand the market structure of this market, or the behavioral movement of this market, you know. So when we look out at this level, I'll be marking out what we have. We have this height right here. Okay, we have this height. That was the highest point which price gets to this level. We are talking on GBP USD. This was the highest point so far. With respect to the current price, right? We're talking this with respect to the current price. So the highest price that we had was that level, and the lowest price that we had also was this level as well. So I'm gonna be shifting it right here, right here. So now that is the major area that we have, or major key levels that we have. This is our major highs and low with respect to how price traveled right up to this high, and also how price traveled right down to this low. So these are the highest points and the lowest point in which price got there. But what are the momentum? We want to talk about the momentum of price. Now we're talking about the strength of the price getting to that level. So I'll be marking that out around my major key levels. So these are also my major key levels, right? So I want to be marking out this. Now I'm looking now to where the closing price of the candlesticks, and yeah, focusing on the closing price of the candlesticks, which is actually now at this level here, and also be focusing on the closing price of this candlestick when price is at this level. So before price was actually getting up at that point right there, what we could usually have here is that we also had a higher structure. We had a higher structure around this level here. Excuse me. We had the higher structure around this level here. When we look at that, why do you have a structure within this structure here, which became our major key levels in price of this level? We had what? We had a down, we had an incline, we have a down. I also made a video on trend. If you want to understand how trend structure works, you can go ahead, go to our video history, then you have a video on what I teach about trend, so you'll be able to understand what trend is all about. Okay, so we're talking about this level now. We're able to understand that we had a short price action movement happening right now in this market. So we have this price growth, and I can literally see that from this high to this low, we have our major high, which was right up to this level. So marking this high here was typically a major key level in this market at this point in time, relationship to where the current price is acting. Is that clear? So when we are looking out on this market now around this position now, see we have our major lows here, then we have our major high at this level now, right? These are our major key level in the market. Now I want to make use now of my price action. Okay, this when we are marking out our key level, remember our key levels help us to understand the significant or how meaningful price action was. So the key levels help us to understand an entire market structure of what is happening within this market, while our price action now will help us now to understand an insight of what is happening within the price market structure. Okay, so our market structure can also help us now to understand what it can help us to understand the minor key levels in this market, or simply our chart pattern or trend lines, depending on what measures you want to work with. Now, if I ask you that, let's look at this market from this high. Now we're looking at this market right now to this high, from this high right down to this low, right? How many trends do we have? How many trends do we have? If we can look on this market, you'll see that we have a trend from this high, we have a low, we have a high, we have again, look at guys, we have a low here, we have a high, we also have a low. Then price gets to this point, breaking away from that structure before coming back down, and now we're also looking to see a price bounce back. Okay, now when we look at this, we can call this that we have a triple bottom formation here. We have a triple bottom formation here, which is in a strong support level to respect to what has played out before around this area. So we have our strong support level. Now we are looking out for price to break away from this zone. Now if you come back to look at what we have, like this is our trade on gold. Currently now gold is over 230 pips, and we have two positions. This is just a trade size of 0.01, guys. We have two positions there. Now the market is at 230 pips move. Then now we also have our trade on GBPUSD. GBPUSD, the same structure that we took. We are looking out for 750 pips move, guys. So this account is a small account that I'm really trying to grow that out. So I'm a swing trader. My pattern or my strategy helps me in the market to swing the market. So now when we look at this market, the same thing that is happening here. Like I said, we are looking on GBPUSD, right? The same reason that I bought this market is the same thing that I'm trying to explain it to you at this point. So when we look out at this market now, if we want to mark out our major key levels here, right, we have our price action playing out. This is our price action level telling us how price has been behaving within this entire market structure. So we are looking out at this level now. What do we have? We have a high at this level, we have a low, right? We have a low, a high, a low, a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, a lower low. So this became our new high, this became our new higher point, and this became our new lower low. So I can simply structure out this, that from this high here right down to this other high, what I have here is that I have an entire lower structure right from here. Then I have this high, I have this level. Then now I'm looking for the market reaction towards this direction. If price is breaking away from this level here significantly, then we can see that we have a W pattern, and now we'll be looking for the market to go all the way up. So if you are trading M's and W pattern, you can possibly be looking for a buy within this level at the breakout from that point. Then we have our low, then we have our TP right up, guys. We have our TP right up. What is that? What I do is that whenever I'm trading, I trade with the 1 to 5 risk to reward ratio. Okay, I trade on the 1 to 5 risk to reward ratio. So right now, if you are waiting for this market to play out, then we'll be waiting for the market to break above this structure, then activating our buy. Then we can go in now for our market movement. So that is how this market can literally look like if you want to understand. So let me take you again to another example again, in still on GBP USD, guys. So now I want us to understand another key level here. Let's break down a market structure on the finding key levels of the market, then see what we can do. Is that clear? So I just want to go behind the market. Now let's say we are somewhere around this position here, right? This is not top-down analysis video, so I'm not going to higher time frame then come back to lower time frame. I'm analyzing within that time frame. Okay, so now if I'm looking now at this market right here, what I want to identify is that first of all I want to study. Let's say if I have the market acting around this area like this, what will I be looking out for? What will I be looking out for is that first thing I want to do is that I want to break down this market. To be able to trade this market, you must be able to break it down, or else you have complexity. If I ask you that what is going to happen within this market going forward, you will see that you have difficulty in telling me or giving me an overall view of what could possibly play out. But if you understand what market structure is, you will see that it will become more clearer for you to work and now become more easier for you to trade. So if I'm looking now on this market here, what will I be looking out for? The same thing I want to do, mark out my entire market structure. So I'll be identifying the major highs to low in this market. So I have the highest point which became that level. Then I also want to mark the lowest point which also became this level, extend it towards this direction. So now within this high to low, what are my secondary level? These are my primary key levels, right? My primary key levels are within this structure here, right down to this structural low. Now, if I can look within this market, how many trends can I find here? How many trends can I find within this market? What I can simply say is that if I look here, right, we have a trend from here, go up, come down, we went up also, right? We have a downtrend, a high, right? Then we have a lower low, we have a lower high, we also have a lower low right down to this level. So looking out at this market, we have a 1, 2, 3 major moves that played out here, right? We have, I can say we mark this here, 2, we have also a 3 major move that played out. I'm also counting this level here. Why? Because this level, we have a breakout away from this, which also acted as a major resistance level because it has been preventing price value. Look at guys, you have price rejection along this area, we have price rejected here, we have price rejected here, and also we are having price rejection along this level. Now when we have these two positions, now what are we looking out here for? If we have price literally at this low point, guys, we want to see how price will react within this low to this high. Is price going to break down the low, or is going to break down that high? When we look around this level as well, what can we see? When we look around this level now, we are finding our way now to understand the recent structure that is happening here, guys. So what we needed to do was to wait for price to come back around this area, which became our major area of what? Support, and this became our major area of resistance. So was price going to descend right down again? Was price going to make a move? Went up? So we're either expecting price to either get to this low for us to buy up, our price gets to that point for us to do what? Either at the breakout at this resistance here we can buy. If price rejects before that resistance, then we can sell. If price breaks away from this support level, we can sell. If price get rejected before the support level, then we can buy. Okay, but what happened within this market here? If we are going forward now, what can we possibly see? We have a clear breakout. Okay, we have a clear breakout at this point here. Now when we look at this, we have a clear breakout, right? The last bearish candle that we had just broke below. Look at the last bearish candle that we had just broke below, and this became a breakout. Okay, so what we did was a retest for us to sell, then boom, the entire market now became a downtrend structure. So you see that if you have a clear understanding of what is happening within the market, it will be more easier for you to read. If you're having difficulties to understand at this point, then I would recommend you go back, you watch my trend line videos. Okay, within my trend line videos, I made a clear understanding on how the market works. So we're clearly making our trend. We had a video on trend, a trend line. We talk about bearish and bullish trend as well. So you can go ahead and you watch any of that video. If you have watched this video right up to this level, please consider liking, consider subscribing, and also consider sharing our video. Drop your thought in the comment section. Let me understand or see what you think about this. If you have complexity that you need me to address, please let me know in the comment section and I'll address it as soon as possible. So thanks for watching and see you on our next video. Bye.